Hello. So today I want to talk about a what if scenario and tell me what you think in the comments. So, the question is, what if the government got into drugs? What do I mean? What if it legalized and nationalized all drug production and the distribution, sorry. Specifically cigarettes, marijuana, and even hard drugs. What would be the social benefit of the government doing that? So, it could firstly fund welfare. This could be hundreds of billions of dollars, which could help income inequality and poverty. You could really, as a result of it being legalized, you could release prisoners who have minor drug offenses, which means you will save billions again. And resolve a particular injustice that there are a lot of people from certain minority groups that are in prison due to these minor offenses and get longer prison sentences from them. You could reduce future arrests because these are essentially victimless crimes. The person takes the drugs themselves. And it will allow the police to focus on more serious crimes, and as a result, you'll have safer neighborhoods. And with the government nationalizing this, you will have a halt in organized crime, or at least the organized crime that is heavily involved in this area. As for the cigarette element, corporations will have to be nationalized, and they will no longer have a corrupting influence on the government in terms of lobbying and pushing through a variety of studies that say that cigarettes are no longer harmful. We'll have the government take over that, and they will no longer have that influence. The government could also invest in medical research in this particular area. For example, the pain experienced in cancer procedures could be reduced. Pain from arthritis could be reduced, and there are drugs that help with PTSD as well. In addition, the government could then start regulating the use and deployment of these drugs, meaning they will be safer, there will be better qualities, and there will be fewer deaths as a result. If those deaths were a result of the drugs being tainted, or if they were mixed with some other compounds, so the dealers can increase their profit margin, the government will resolve that. Have I convinced you? Well, I hope I haven't convinced all of you, or some of you may not be sitting well, because this is a very bad idea. And these are essentially utilitarian arguments. Specifically, I mentioned funding welfare, and that kind of changes the conversation where drugs were in a particular state, now they're in another, meaning I was able to take something that was previously immoral and make it moral through this kind of lens. So, for example, cigarettes before were hurting people and causing people lung cancer, but now that the government is doing it, is it now moral? And if drug dealers are immoral and help people, will the government be doing that suddenly does make it moral, or because it uses the money to the benefit of society from drugs, does it now become moral? And the same arguments could be made for fossil fuels. Fossil fuels a lot of people are complaining about it, saying it's hurting the planet. But if a country nationalizes fossil fuels and use the proceeds from that to fund social welfare, does it now become moral and good? Something to think about. Thank you very much.